Hey, hey, thanks for joining us today. I'm live with a special guest. I wouldn't even call him a guest, I'd call him a true friend, a supporter, a believer, someone who invests in themselves, an entrepreneur, a business owner, a role model, an amazing father, William Wade. Let's go, baby. Thanks for joining us, William.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. That's a great introduction. Great introduction. Real estate investor too, though.
Okay, all right. I'm learning, brother. You're a man of many talents. Man of many talents.
How you doing? How you doing? Thank you for having me on the live, man. You're a great man yourself, so I follow you a lot. So, thank you.
Thanks, man. Thanks for being here, spending some time. I know you're a busy guy. Um, One of the things, the live is called Relationships Are Rocket Ships, right?
Mhm.
And William, you and I have tons of conversations, whether it's on a weekly basis, sometimes daily basis, and we dive into how to play bigger, how to level up, how to make the right relationship. So I thought it was just so important to have you on and share some conversations that you may have had, or who they were with and when they were, that have really skyrocketed and created this rocket ship for your business and your personal life. Um, I believe we're one conversation away from changing the trajectory of your life. I think that's something you probably align with as well, and it's happened to you. But before we jump into your story and some relationships and conversations you've had that changed your life and has been a rocket ship, I just want to say something about you, man. Um, you know, we hung out the other night and you were talking a lot about the importance of the relationship with your son and building a business and giving him the business and watching him prosper and watching him continue to grow and run it. And that right there is just I got to call it out. It's such an important relationship, right? Because I believe, based on what you told me, and I'm going to ask you for your opinion, of course, because it's your son, your relationship, your why you're doing it. But I think from what we've talked about, that the relation, by you doing that with your son and giving him the opportunity and coaching and training and allowing him to do all those things with the business, I think that's going to be a relationship that's a rocket ship for you and your growth, right? Like you're giving that to him, and that's clearly a pivotal relationship for him and a rocket ship for his personal life and his business life. But I think by you doing that, man, like I think that you're going to get so much back for that too, right?
Yeah,
Do you believe that? Do you think that's true, or?
definitely think that's true, man. I truly believe that the relationships that you build along the way get you to the place that you want to be. So, definitely.
And I think, it's just so important to remind ourselves that a lot of these relationships, a lot of these conversations, they're not just business related, right? Like the skill sets and the relationship you have with your son and what he's learning and the traits and the characteristics and the core values. The platform may be the business, but the characteristics are from you and your heart and what you want to instill in your child.
Yeah,
So
because
I
see,
admire you, man. I admire you, brother. Like there's not a lot of people I talk to that care as much and pour as much into their relationship with their child at the level that you do. So kudos to you, man.
appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. I tell them all the time, man, that I live by four values, man. Integrity leads to trust, leads to loyalty in relationships, and then leads to success. So everything that I build on, I build with first with the integrity, and then I have the next level is trust. Then the loyalty. Loyalty comes after you build trust. A lot of times people we trying to get, even in business, man, even in relationships as well, we trying to get loyalty from someone else, if it's a spouse or a business partner, but we haven't built up the trust. And then we wonder why we lose our business sometime or why we're not growing. And how I structure it, and it builds all my relationships. I come first with my integrity, who I am as a person. I have to be real no matter if I'm online, offline, or on the sideline. I got to be real the whole way through. So my integrity leads to a person trusted. Now, trust is built on many different ways, but for me, it's through how I am as a person. My son trusts me. My brothers them trust me. My aunts, my uncles. I mean, people around me, they trust me because I've been what I said I was going to do. Ever since I've come into this newfound trajectory, a newfound way I'm living my life, everybody said everything that I said I've done or was going to do, I've done it. And that was integrity builds up the trust. So, and I have loyalty, man, loyalty in the people that follow me. I have 2 teams of 10 people on one team. So it's like 20 people that I have listening to me and following me as a leader. And that loyalty comes from, again, the trust that I have built up with them. And then we go for success, you know. So that's my value structure that I use to build up my relationships and to build anything that I have in my life. I have to go that way. And I don't look to go for the success without going through the first 3 steps. You know, that's just how I build it.
Where did you learn that? Was that a conversation you had? Did someone teach that? Is that a relationship you had with someone? Did you just read it from a book? Like, where did you learn that?
So I was reading a book called Master Leadership, Master Leaders. And in the book called Master Leaders, it was talking about how big companies, or how some companies have value that they have in the company. They was talking about like Southwest. Now Southwest has a certain value that they about their people, like their company, like the employees. They have certain values that they respect their employees. So if somebody comes on an airplane and it doesn't align with the employee, then a lot of times Southwest was roll with the employee other than the work, you know, the guest. And it says that you wanted to have your values structured in a way that it doesn't conflict with each other. So you start with your first value, then your second one, your third one, and then your fourth one. The structure of the values makes sense, because if you're going for success, in my case, you're going for success, whether financial success, business success, any type of success in a relationship. If you don't have the integrity first, you're dropping off, right? So how I built the values, it has to go in line. So every time I build a relationship, or anytime I build a company, or anytime I do anything, I have to have those 4 values. Now, each company that I have different values, but they all go back to my personal value that I include in everything, like anything. Relationship with you, bro. Before I can get loyalty, I had to show you who I was. You have to see, hey, man, he's a supporter. He's gonna be there. I have to show you who I am, you know. And so, before we can have any type of success, whether it's a success in this live stream, or success in whatever else we're doing, for me, it has to go in those orders. No way.
How do you battle some of those instances where your integrity is tested?
Integrity is always going to be tested, but one thing about the word integrity is that it stays true to whoever it is. The integrity of a fence, the integrity of grass, everything that we see has integrity. Like, you have integrity of relationships, anything. Like, you walk, I'm looking out my window right now, and it's a fence right there, and it's the integrity of the fence. So I know that if I have to jump that fence, or have to put another fence up, I know that the fence is going to do what the fence is going to do. So when the fence is tested, it may give away a little bit, but it's going to still stand, because that's a fence, you know, unless you need to rebuild the fence. And now we have to check the integrity, because it's not doing what it's supposed to do. So it's going to be no success. It can't stand.
Have you ever had to rebuild your integrity?
Many times. I think all the time, like dealing in different people, I think integrity is something that sit inside, but you develop more. Like, you develop. I think you still true from for child. As I grew up, I was told certain things, like I don't lie. My grandmother don't lie. I'd rather be around somebody, and I say this lightly because I don't want to be around neither one of them. But I'd rather be around somebody that steals than somebody that lies. Because see, my grandmother always said, we was big on that lying. A person that would steal, they would steal your stuff and hey, man, I stole it. But a liar, they would steal it and say, hey, man, I don't know where it went, and have you, and then we right there looking for it with you. Like, you and them be looking for the same stuff, and he know he got it. So for me, lying is not my thing. Like, I have been called brutally honest sometimes. Sometimes I say things in a wrong way, and I have to apologize for it. But my integrity still is not going to be, I'm not going to give you fake. I'm just got to give you me, you know? So no matter where I go, or if somebody comes to me and I have my integrity questioned, as you said, I'm still going to give them the real. It's just going to be me, you know?
Do you ever face challenges where you just struggle through that? Like, it sounds like you've got a lot of confidence, which I think equates to clarity. I had a conversation with Lauren Lowry this morning, and we were talking a lot about confidence, and it's more clarity. So to me, you have confidence in your integrity because you're clear.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But when you're clear, talk to me about when that gets tested a little bit, because I know it does, and I know that you have clarity, but give me a situation where that may have been tough to get through.
Well, finances is a lot of places where people integrity is challenged. You know, a lot of times people will say finances when your finances are low, it's some things that you might do that you might not want to do, you know. But and the verse is the other way. When finances get in high, some people start to get shisty. They start to start doing things backdoor to other people that normally wouldn't do. So finances is somewhere that I see a lot of times people can get tested. But to answer your question would be in knowledge, man. I say it's mentality, not money. A lot of times, that's one of the things I continue to say. Although I teach people that we need both mentality and the money, I start with say it's mentality, not money, because a lot of times people go for that financial success and they do a whole bunch of other things that would compromise the integrity. You know what I mean? So it's mentality, not money. You keep your mindset.
I used to be that person, right? I did stuff for green pieces of paper only. I'll be honest. I'll be brutally vulnerable about it, right? Like, I didn't give a fuck what it was.
Yeah.
Now, I had integrity, right? I wouldn't hurt someone. I wouldn't steal. I wouldn't manipulate. But like, if it was something or a company that I worked for that wasn't doing it for the right reasons, but it made me money and I didn't directly harm someone, I would do it. You know? And I think,
but for only so long though. But for only so long, because see, once you have that integrity, it eats at you. Like it has to change. Like, did you eventually change that situation, or how did it end up?
Yeah, I mean, I quit both very lucrative careers. And you know, youngest director of one company, I walked away because they weren't ethical. Moved to the company that hired me to move to Nashville, I walked away because they were unethical, right? Wow. Like, you know, it was great because it pushed me into entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Right. And it's exactly where I need to be, want to be. And I can't help entrepreneurs if I haven't gone through the shit myself. Right. Which is where I'm at today. I want to help entrepreneurs. I want to, you know, increase the odds of great relationships happening, putting the right people in the room, curating that room, qualifying that room. Right. So it's just so important to me more than ever, because I did waste time doing that. And to your point, you're exactly correct, dude. Like, it kept eating away until it was just enough, and I had to make a change, you know?
So, but you just showed me, I like the live though. What you showed me was this: our integrity is still in, no matter what we do. So it's still, if we do something that it's not integrous, I don't know if that's the word, then it'll eat at us. Like the relationship you have with yourself. Relationships are rocket ship, right? The relationship that you cultivate with yourself is one of the best relationships that start anything else. Because once I found out who I was and how I deal with myself and who I am in God, I had to put that in, because I had to. That's where the confidence comes from. It's not from who I am in me. It's who God sees me as. And so once I started to have that about myself, then it's very little to what other people can do. Now I do waver because, you know, we are humans. But the thing is, once you have that rock or that solid foundation, you can only go so far. It's like a boat on the dock. If it's tied to it, it can only go so far. It's not going to go too much farther.
Totally. So, William, tell me about, give me an example about a relationship in your life that just turned into a rocket ship for you, whether it was your personal life or your business life. What's a conversation or a relationship that has just skyrocketed your growth?
So, conversation that skyrocketed my growth is most of my relationships now is going to put me in a place, man. Relationship with you, it helped me with get me in other positions. I did my my first event, you know. So relationship with you helped out. Relationship with other business partners. I have a relationship with people online. Like I got a guy, AJ Simmons, online that he did the Clean Biz Network. His relationship with him put me at my first event. Like he had me come and speak in Jacksonville, and I'm like, whoa, I wasn't even prepared. But just relationship.
You showed up. You met him, you built the relationship, and that relationship led to what? A year later, you're speaking on a stage, you're meeting more people.
Yeah. And so I met him online, followed him online, got into a Facebook group, And at the time, the Facebook group was about $350. And everyone around me, the relationships that I had. So the relationships that I had around me all said I was crazy. Man, you crazy. You spending $300 for a Facebook group? Why don't you get in the free ones? But see, the relationship I had with myself knew that I didn't want free. I didn't want the free groups. I wanted to get the mindset around people that would pay to get in the group. I wanted to get away from the free mindset. So I got into the group. And I started to follow the guy and started to see what he in, and then started to build relationships. And I started my integrity of who I was, got him to trust that, oh, he's about something, you know. And one day he said, hey, let's go. And since you've been loyal, hey, I need somebody to fill in on the stage. And hey, now we had success. So got on the stage, and it changed the way that I looked at myself. And I got invited to another stage from Facebook relationship. My guy Anthony, you met him at the thing. I was online being integrous, showing who I was. His wife reached out to me. I didn't even know Anthony was watching me. His wife reached out to me because of I had integrity. She reached out to me, and I gained their trust some type of way. And so they say, hey, since you've been loyal to what you're doing, come on. I have a millionaire brunch. It's called a $1 million brunch, $1 million lunch. And he invited me to speak on stage. And then I had some more connections. Like every time I hit the stage, bro, connections come from the stage. And those relationships that are built are phenomenal. I started coaching after one of those, man. Like it's just so many different things that happen with relationships, bro. You on the nail, man. You hit the nail on the head.
I think it's amazing because you showed up, your integrity, who you were, your realness, your rawness, your vulnerability, right? All those things came into play. And then that relationship became a rocket ship because it was who you were and what you did. And you said something very, very important. I think that I don't want anybody to miss, you know, the relationships you had at the time were advising you not to do the Facebook group, not to pay money, right? You're crazy. Well, that's $350 for a Facebook group, blah, 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 right? But you had to be you, and you knew what was right, and you had to push that other stuff aside. Yeah. And that was an amazing opportunity. Like let me ask you this. What would you pay now for that relationship that it's built? You know who it is, the opportunities you've seen. Like $350 is probably like a penny to you, right? Like,
yeah, the whole thing.
You pay $35,000 for that relationship right now, you probably would. You know?
Yeah. You know what? Hey, you know what I look forward to? One of my goals is to be able to spend $25,000 and to go for a weekend with somebody. Like and you know how many people in my past relationships think that's crazy? Like $25,000 for a 2-day seminar or weekend retreat. Man, that's my goal, because the mindset of the people, the relationship that I build with other people that can spend $25,000 for a 3-day retreat, they're not needing them $25,000. So, you know, so those relationships are amazing for me. I look forward to one day. Maybe it'd be 3 years, maybe it'd be 5 years, but I'm going, definitely.
And I think too, like you hit it right on the head, because it's the people in that room. And I think, you know, one thing too is like those relationships, it's not you're spending $25,000 to build a relationship to make more money. You're going to learn stuff about you. Yeah. In that room, you're going to learn stuff that's going to enhance and grow your personal life, right? Like, and then use elements, core values, characteristics, and skills and knowledge to grow your business life, right? Yeah. But like the coolest thing about those types of things is like you become a better person, whether you make a fucking dollar tomorrow or in 10 years. You go to that $25,000 thing and you're going to learn some stuff, and you're going to learn some stuff about you. You're going to learn some stuff about business, and that value may not come back the next day. That relationship, that could just be the start, right? Like the rocket ship, right? When we think of rocket ships, it's like, and all the fire comes out, right? And it takes a little time, and then boom, it blasts off. And then after that,
just start going. What?
You're just cruising. Hey,
but the thing about the rocket ship, as you start getting up to a certain altitude, you start dropping stuff off too. So as you start to get those relationships, you start to go up, and then you start to realize that, hey, I got to this altitude, I need to drop some people. I need to drop.
And then it separates. Yeah.
And you could go higher, bro. So hey, that's exactly how things go, man. But you know what? I know you didn't want to do this, but I have to ask you, man. So you got an event coming up, right? You got an event coming up, and you talk about relationships. Now, being in the right room, being in this Facebook group, for me, being in the Facebook group changed the trajectory of how I was going. I was coming from a dark situation, and the mentality that I was cultivating, I find this guy online, and he's studying some of the same books. He's studying the thing, and he's in the cleaning company, right? So I attached to him like the rocket ship. I said, man, let me support him. Let me get behind him. And now that's the story that we talk about, right? So now we talking about being in the room or being in a Facebook group or being in a place with somebody being able to elevate you. Let me see what you think about that and what you have coming up, because I definitely want to be there.
Yeah, I mean, Impact Effect 23, the theme of education is sales tactics, sales growth, personal branding and marketing, what channel to be on, what, how to have clarity around it, and then communication, verbal communication, what to say, what not to say, how to spin things specifically to have a more positive outcome, have more growth, body language, facial decoding, proactive and reactive, based on body and facial expressions and micro expressions, right? But the coolest thing about this is the overarching theme is you're one conversation away from changing your life, right? And what we're doing specifically is we're curating the room. We're making sure there's the right people in the room. Not only do we have the speakers and the access and the conversations and the opportunities, but like we're doing this different. And what's different is I'm calling every person who bought a ticket and I'm asking them what they're looking for, who they want to connect with, what's a good opportunity, what's your dreams, who do you align with, what's your core values. And we're going to seat people strategically next to each other to increase the odds of these amazing conversations. Not only are we going to do that, but we have integrity around who's coming. I refunded a ticket because the person just was a cancer to the group. Like I gave money back to someone, and I don't know anybody who does that. I've never heard of someone refunding a ticket because they didn't fit the integrity of the room. So it's just so funny you talk about integrity. It's a great word, because this event, it's not about me. It's about the attendees, right? It's not about me. I wholeheartedly believe that. And in order for me to put the best experience on with people and to give back and to do this the right way, I need to pour into the things that are more challenging for me to operate this event, but are more beneficial for the attendees, right? So, dude, does $500 benefit me? Will I take $500 from someone? Of course that benefits me, right? That's real dollars. But if I took that and I let that person come into my event, which is my home, I look at it as my home, right? The difference between a house and a house, the door's always open. A home is what I built. I closed that door off to the world, and that's my home. So this event, this is my home, man. And I've got to protect my home for the integrity of the attendees.
That's true.
It's their home too. They're paying to be in my home. I built it, but they're paying to be in it. So how do I do that the right way? I have integrity around who belongs in that room. We ask questions when you buy a ticket. When I call you, if there's a red flag on those questions or there's a red flag in our conversation, we have a conversation about this. And if I need to protect that room, so I will refund people's tickets. So not only am I making sure the quality is there and I'm protecting it, I'm curating the room by putting you next to people you want to be around. We're doing a relationship rally, 30 minutes in our workbooks, 3 people, how you're going to follow up with them, how they're going to change your life, and what you're going to do to help them is going to be 30 minutes carved out specifically to build relationships with integrity.
I like it.
To follow up and grow. In post-conference events, like I'm so intentional about ensuring that the odds are higher to meet people and to change your life that we want to bring you back. We're going to give you 4 more opportunities to come back for live events to continue the relationship building. So for me, man, that's how I see it. That's how I've built my intentional relationships. And if I can provide an opportunity, a platform, a space where to go, where to do this with people that are paying to be in the room, that want to be in the room, that want to give, amazing things are going to happen. People's lives will be changed on October 27th at Impact Effect 23. I wholeheartedly believe it.
And
And I
you know what?
believe it because I care,
You
because
know
I'm
what?
putting in an intentional effort to make it happen. Right. And these are things that I contemplated in the early on. I'm like, it's a lot of work. I don't have enough staff, and I'm not going to be able to sell houses. It's not about me. It's not about me. It's about helping entrepreneurs, business owners, people who want to help, people who want to grow. And that's why I'm doing it, man. So you
No,
asked me, that was a long-winded way to say that's what I'm doing, but there's so much intentionality behind it. I've spent thousands of dollars going to other events, interviewing people, thinking about who they like for speakers, why they like those speakers, what people need more than ever right now. And it comes down to intentionality. You have to be intentional.
man, I'm gonna be honest with you. So when I was reading, man, I got a book right behind me, and my book is called The Body Language. And so when you're doing big deals, when you're at the closing table, when you're doing big deals, I want to see what your forehead look like. I want to be able to, if you sitting up, I want to sit up too, because hey, we might be intense right now. If you laid back, might want to be laid back too. I want to mirror that. That's what the book was saying. And so body language is amazing, and it helps close a lot of deals. But what I got from you when you said that you have a workbook and teaching people to follow up, that's how the relationships are built. When I first started to go into networking events and started to do certain things, I didn't do the follow-up, man. And that's even in business. So I got a cleaning company, right? And so again, that's what I handed to my son. We were talking about earlier. Cleaning company, I built it up 6 figures, so now he's running it, right? But the thing is, I did not follow up when I first started. I used to go to walkthroughs, and I used to go to my walkthroughs, and I used to dress up and go in there, and I did my measurements, and I just think they was going to spend their business with me. Like, hey, I did it. You need the service. Hey, spend with me. But I found out that it's the nurturing of the relationship that built the business. So now I go and I call back. I send an email to them. I may go by and eat lunch at their place just to say, hey, I'm in here, man. Would you seen a proposal? Like, just to build a relationship up with the people. Sometimes I went to places and the contact wasn't there, and I just left. I didn't even eat. I want to see him there. I want to go back and eat, and then I go back and eat while he's there, and then I've got the deal. I got the business. But it's all about the relationship, man. It's sometimes I think the world is so the way we have so many things going on that we missing the loyalty in the relationships. Like it's no loyalty no more, So we have to. And again, with why I'm saying loyalty, because again, that's my third value. But loyalty also comes with being somebody that wants to have loyalty too. You can't just be the same thing. So you offering 4 more events after that, hey man, that brings loyalty, because hey, I got to come back. If I'm gonna spend my money, by the way, I'm VIP, so I want to get sit next to somebody that I need to see. But no, my thing is spending money to get in those rooms is amazing though, because like the mindset, you got to build relationships, man. And if you're not able to actually get around people that has the same mindset, like it's relationships are thrown off, man. It's thrown off.
That's it, man. I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. Well, thank you, dude. Thank you for jumping on with me today, man. I really appreciate it. And your insight is so valuable. And, I consider you such a good friend, and you've been more than amazing to me. You've helped me with my business, and I just appreciate you, bro. So thank you for spending some time and chatting with me today.
No problem, man. Thank you for having me. I like this live thing, man. You got me.
Let's go. I better see you on some lives too.
Yeah, I'm going live, man. I'm going live, man. I got to go live, man. My people be asking me to go live, and I'm just nervous. So hey, I'm gonna go ahead and go live. And
you crushed it today, brother. Keep going, man. You crushed it today, dude. You just got. You speak from the heart, and I think that's where we get in our brains. Like, and dude, I go through this all the time. Like, speak from the heart. What's important to you? What do you believe? What are you clear on? What do you like? And if you do that, man, it's you. And if someone doesn't like it, see ya.
That's right.
And no one's perfect. People are always working on themselves, and it is what it is. Like I used to be scared of lives too, man. Like I just started them a week ago, and for me, it was, what am I scared about? I'm scared about messing up, man. I mess up all the time. I talk about it. Why not just do it on live, mess up, and be like, yo, I just messed up. I'm just like you. I mess things up all the time. let me rephrase that, or I spoke out of school, or it sounded weird, or, you know, I coughed. Oh God, let's redo the video. Like, I get that because people who look for credibility look for perfection.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the videos and they have to be perfect and edited, but like, this is the funnest stuff, man. You know, like, I'm in my car right now having an amazing conversation with you in hopes that maybe one person heard this and it just gave them some motivation, maybe something a little bit different to think about. Maybe they were having a bad day and they looked at this goofy bald head dude and was like, ha ha, I look better than him. Right? Who knows? Like, if that was the case, I ain't even mad about it. Like, if I made someone feel better because they're better looking than me and they think I'm ugly, like, cool, that's awesome. I love that. So at the end of the day, I can mess up. I can be an idiot. But that's me, man. That's who I am. I'm tired today. Like, I woke up exhausted today, you know, just being real and raw. I didn't want to get up and work. I didn't want to go to my meeting this morning, but I'm like, you know what? I woke up today. Yeah. Like, I already won. I woke up. Like, I'm here. My dad's 10-year anniversary was 2 days ago of his death. I'm like, how am I going to be fucking miserable today? Like, I'm still here. I get to spend time with my wife tonight. We're doing a date night. We're going to go walk around the park. Like, what am I upset about? Yeah. A business deal, a house that didn't sell as fast as I wanted it to. You know, I didn't sell as many tickets yesterday as I wanted to for the conference. I'm a little behind on my goal. Okay. But like, I'm healthy. I feel good. I get to have an amazing conversation with you today. I had an amazing meeting this morning with Lauren Lowry. I get to spend time with my daughter this afternoon. I'm meeting someone, you know, having lunch or smoothie with someone today that I've never met before. Like, dude, life is good, you know? Good relationships, huh? Live today, like, who cares? Who cares?
Yeah, you know? Yeah. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man.
Oh God, my shirt's wrinkled. Like, I don't care.
That's what I said. I can't see the way. No.
But that's the thing, you know, it's like, it doesn't matter. It just matters to us.
The YouTube videos, I get views, but when I did my lives in my group, you know, I got a group wishing they ain't doing enough. I do lives and I have way more engagement. It helps my virtual assistant company out. More people that's got cold callers and things when I do my live. Like, more people gravitate to me and message me more when I do the lives that I was doing. But for some reason,
bro, you're real. It's you, bro.
Hey, it's integrity, baby.
We love you. Like, that's the thing. Like, I want to see real, raw people. I want to see emotion. I want to see concern. Like, I spoke in LA at Craig Siegel's event, and like, man, I could feel it in my heart what I was saying. Yeah. Like, my voice started to crack because I was so freaking emotional about it, because I believed it. It was me. And like, that emotion, man, like that's what you get on a live, because sometimes you're in the studio, you're recording, you're tired, you're just not in it, man. Your energy may not be there. It's
trying not to mess up. You want to make perfect. You're like, oh, my video editor can edit this part out. But once you on this live, you getting the true crisp passion. You're right. Don't you start with me. Don't you start.
That's it. That's it. So hey, we're going to do this again, brother. We're going to do a lot of these, because I think just one, you know, you're speaking more, you're getting on stages. Like, this is good for you. This is good for me. But more so, man, like, we're going to talk about real stuff that's helped us. And like, yeah, tune in, tune out, say we're stupid, say we're ugly. I don't care, because someone's going to be affected by this. You know, someone's going to hear it and go, oh, that was cool, man. Like, you're right. I need to work on my values first before I do anything. You know, I need to focus on being me and authentic and real to build good relationships, right? And wow, relationships are important. Maybe, you know, the whole goal of these relationships or rocket ship lives is really just to spark someone to think about just trying a little harder, being a little bit more intentional, and showing up to have relationships, right? Like, I need to level up. You need to level up. We all need to level up, right? And if I can share, hey, just be a little bit more intentional. Go into it with some energy, right? Do your research. Like, there's people that I do research on before I meet them, And there's people that I actually I intentionally don't do research on. I told this morning with Lauren, I said, I didn't look you up. I don't know what channel you're a news anchor on. You know, like I didn't want that to cloud anything, because I heard her speak at TEDx and I said, I need to talk to her. That was it. I didn't want anything else to cloud that. So I think being intentional can happen in multiple different ways, right? Being intentional to look someone up and come in with some good questions to build that relationship, maybe something of value, right? Like I look at someone's Facebook and they said, oh, you know, we were having this birthday party in a couple weeks. Like, I want to know about the birthday party. Is there anything I can help? Is there leverage that I can pull? Is there a relationship that I can give? You know, like, oh, you have a birthday party. I don't throw birthday parties, bro. Like, I don't even have birthday parties for like me or my wife. Like I don't do that as a company. I don't do that in my personal life. We may get together. We may do dinner. That's really about it. Right. But that's not the point. The point is because I'm not, I can still help. You need a frozen beverage vendor. I got one. Yeah. Right. You need someone to come in and set up and do music. I got one. You need a DJ. I got one. You need a mic system that's not going to charge you $600 to rent a mic because there's going to be 40 people there and you want everybody to hear it. I got one. Right. Like, oh, you need a caterer? I got one. Oh, you need a sponsor for alcohol? I got one, right? Like, who knows? But at least if I'm intentional about that relationship and I come in just thinking about them proactively, man, that could change everything for that person. That could reduce some stress, right? Oh, Jim, I needed a frozen beverage vendor. How'd you know? Like, I just removed so much stress by just taking 5 minutes to look at the Facebook. That's impactful. That causes change. And it may not work every time, right? But I don't do things just so they work every time. I do things that matter to me, even if they never work or they work once and one life's changed.
That's crazy. That's what I do now. You just said that. That's what I'm doing now with my company. I'm having my team to find people on their on their Facebook. I need to know what about them, and I want to be able to build a relationship. If you're a single mother, I want to be able to cater to you as a single mother, not as a woman that's married, because that's two different type of ways. I know that you got the baby that you have to go home. Like, you're an all-day entrepreneur. Now you got to pick your daughter up or son up, and now you got to go home and be mom. So I need to know that as I'm nurturing or as I'm building that relationship, I need to know that you have this time. So I need to know that my team need to work for you in the afternoon. So while you at home taking care of your baby, here we're gonna make this roll. So that's one of the biggest things, man, building a relationship, man. So I'm glad that you did bring me on. Man, I appreciate it again. And we definitely can do more. Hey, and I'm looking forward to that Impact 23, man. I'm definitely looking forward. I'm gonna build some relationships.
Let's go, baby.
I'm talking to. I got a couple of people I'm thinking about getting with though. So yeah, I'm waiting.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, thanks again, brother. Have a good rest of your day.